Good YouTube. It's a quest of Survive and Prophecy. And listen, man, my hate for the Nets runs deep. I never liked it, the Nets, even when they had their 15 minutes of fame or 15 seconds of fame in New Jersey. I still didn't like them. I hated their jerseys. I hated what they represented. I just think that they should have never had a New Jersey team, to be honest with you, because New Jersey has done nothing to deserve a team whatsoever outside of hockey. Um, but people have to understand, this is still a Knicks town, you know? Do the Nets have any championships? No. Okay. Do they have any conference championships? No. Do they have any division championships? Probably. Like it doesn't matter what era you win championships in, you know? Like look how long it has been since the Pistons won a championship back in '04. You know what I'm saying? So, the last time the Heat won a championship back in '06, you know? So it takes time. Like I'm not here to say that the Nets will never win a championship because we've seen magic happen before. Take the Philadelphia Eagles, who had a 40-year drought of not winning a championship. A lot of memes, a lot of clowns. You know what I'm saying? Look at them now. Won a championship. Probably may never get there again. But, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Um, they still give the Giants headache problems, and they still a thorn to the Cowboys side. But but the Nets, when they moved here to Brooklyn, it was just like, why? You know? I mean, I get it why they did it, because of, popularity and probably because of marketing. That like they wanted another team besides New York to get the fans pumped and have them have something to believe in. Because when they was in New Jersey, not a single soul. They had the lowest attendance rate in NBA history, the lowest. Like you have people from Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, driving all the way to New Jersey just to see them because the Knicks was god awful. You know, they had the lowest attendance rate. Now, obviously, things have changed. New owners come in and out, new GMs, new head coaches. We all know that. When they signed, when they had, Darren Williams and Joe Johnson and Brooke Lopez, and then they added, KG and Paul Pierce and Terry Crews, they were all right. I'm not saying that they were bad. But again, they fell short against the Miami Heat in the playoffs. I think they won like 43-29 or something like that. I think they were like the fourth or fifth seed, while Miami Heat at the time were like the number one seed. They got cremated. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, they had who? D'Lo. They had D'Lo. Made the playoffs again. Didn't necessarily go too far. You know, Now they have KD. Oh, actually, they had Kyrie. KD got hurt. Kyrie obviously did a little bit, but not too much. And yeah, they didn't even make the playoffs last year in the bubble. Fast forward to this year, right? Or we could go even further back when they had Kenyon Martin and Jason Kidd and Joanne Man Yao, uh, the tall center, the tall Asian center, the tall Asian center. Um, so yeah, you could even go further back, So I just because every single night I had nothing but Nets fans. Nothing but Nets games. Like the only time I would probably see the Knicks if if it's like a primetime game. You know what I'm saying? If it's like a Saturday primetime game, that's the only time I'll probably see the Knicks. But other than that, I would get a lot of Nets games where I used to live in Brooklyn, Flatbush Avenue. So, like usually, like I would have to go to my cousin's house. No, I had to go to my friend's house to actually watch the Knicks games because the Nets was just god awful. But you fast forward to now you have the big three. It's like, oh my God, here we go again. Like the Nets never learn from their mistakes. The Nets are not that franchise to just be steady and build around a young talent. You saw how quick they shipped out Jared Allen. And Jared Allen was in his Jared Allen was young. He was like a 23-year-old, you know? Shipped him out. Nah, we don't need you. Your presence is no longer here. Needed. It's like, damn, that's how you doing it? Thank gosh the Knicks did not sign them bums. Because I'll tell you this. The media is not going to tell you it, but I'm going to tell you it. The Nets are not going to win it this year. They're going to get close, but no cigar. Next year is their final year because obviously Kyrie and KD got options. So if they say, okay, we didn't get it this year, we're going to get it next year. Same result. Great record, but can't go far. They're going to opt out. And guess where guess where that leaves the Nets? Empty-handed. At least you'll have James Harden, because James Harden contract is probably a little bit, wishy-washy. So that's the only person you'll probably have after Kyrie and KD opts out and go somewhere else. They will do that, trust me. Knowing Kyrie and KD, they have zero patience. They wanted to go to Brooklyn. You see they had no stars there. The only star that they had was D'Lo. They traded, you see how fast they traded him to the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? So you added Kyrie, you added KD, you added James Harden, right? So that means that they have to get it done now. They have to get it done not next year, but this year. If they don't get it done this year, they're not going to get it done next year. Because next year is going to probably be more stacked. More free agents moving from team to team. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you got, the draft this year and then obviously up and coming next year. So, a lot of things are going to change, Contracts, Dinwiddie, Spencer, you're just going to have a lot of moving pieces. So, and then chemistry-wise, chemistry-wise, with all three of y'all chemistry won't have a problem. It's just that the players that comes in and out, that's probably going to be a factor. Like you're not going to have the same trust that you would have in Spencer or LeVert than you would have if, somebody else came, So I just think that, the Nets are not going to win a championship. I think the Nets just did this because they wanted to have the headlines in the tabloids, which they can go ahead and have it, because the Knicks right now, the Knicks are in the right position. Like they have learned from their mistakes from when they had Carmelo Anthony. Even though we won the trade, all we had to give up was Wilson Chandler, which he was a promising player. Raymond Felton also was a promising player, and we had to give up, a first-round draft pick. How did it end for the Nuggets? Not so much. How did that trade end up for the Knicks? You be my guess. you know? So I just think that, the next time is now. As an unbiased fan of the Knicks, if the Nets want to win their first championship, they have to do it now, not next year, because we don't know what next year holds. You know what I'm saying? They have to win it now, not next year, not the year after that. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, yes, Kyrie and KD both signed a 4-year deal extension, but they also have a player's option. So they can opt out of their contract if they see fit. James Harden does not have that luxury. So when those two bounce, James Harden is the only person that you'll probably have on the contract still. So as an unbiased fan, if they want to win the championship, they have to win it now. Plain and simple. Or they gonna be just like or they just gonna be like another Miami Heat team. 4 trips to the finals, 2 championships to show for it. The Heat could have won more. As loaded as they were defensively and offensively, they should have won more championships. Just plain and simple. So, like, comment, subscribe. If you're a Nets fan, Knicks fan, whatever fan you are, let me know. Will the Nets win a championship? Fact or fiction? Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.